Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to part 140 of Let's Play Pillars of Eternity. In the last part, we're finishing off this. Well, we're doing our best to finish off this game. So we're going to be talking to Tir Erevrón in Elm's Reach. Oh, right. So we're in the wrong part. We're meant to be going over to there. Let's get over there then. No clue if we're allowed to cross this bridge. Doing it anyway. At this point, we should be strong enough to fuck up like 10 of these people before we die. Probably.
You have stayed true to our cause, Inquisitor, when so many others have not. For every heretic we confess, for every betrayer that burns on our pyres, new sheep continue to flock to Iavara ex Incios. But not you. I underestimated you in the beginning. But no longer.
You honor me, Grand Inquisitor.
It is not for honor that I summoned you today, but for duty. Too many of our own have confessed upon the wheel and the rack and the flame. Too many of our faithful have had their minds poisoned by the Kratom witch. The tide is against us now. We have but one option. Iavara's following must see her exposed for what she is. She must confess her heresy before my court. Not in Kratom, surely. Their lord has embraced her heathen faith and protects her with his army. But in Oceanus, things would be different. The king of Oceanus is a sinful man. We have helped him to see the error of his ways, and now he fears for his soul. He would pay any price for absolution.
But how would we get Iavara to move to Oceanus?
You have already done much for the Inquisition. I wouldn't ask this were there any other choice.
But what would he ask us? That's the real question, ladies and gentlemen. Two identical women seem to fade into view as they move away from the great trees that camouflage them. Their skin is tree bark, rigid and scaly, weathered in a curling tangle of roots, buds, and blooms. Their hair hangs beneath the shade of serrated leaves, like the drooping branches of the elms above, and the pupils of their eyes are encircled by hundreds of even thousands of concentric rings, as if to mark the accumulated wisdom of a millennia.
Turn around, flesh creature. Outsiders are not permitted to approach the elms.
One of them extends a snarl of roots towards you like this, that snakes and twist together like and to form something like an open hand, palm down.
Do you not feel it, sister? Something familiar. An ancient soul, like the other one. Another defiler, no doubt. Let us fell him and be troubled no more. It would pay the debt of his predecessor.
The other stares at you unblinkingly, and as her frown deepens, her face creaks.
So it would seem, Rhiannon. But we must not hasten to judgment. I see a different motive here. Different questions in these eyes.
What of it, young trespasser? Is it as my sister says? Or are you here to stain this place with foul deeds?
I seek a man who came through here. It sounds as though you've already met him.
There, by his own admission, Sheetha.
Really, sister? And you wonder why your leaves begin to fall out before midsummer. Clearly that man did not want to be followed. Whatever the relationship here, I suspect it is anything but cordial.
Rhiannon opens her hand to respond, but all that escapes her knotted lips is an exacerbated rustling sigh, and Cedar turns back to face you.
The answer is yes, old one. We crossed paths with Theos not long ago, and we can tell you where he went. But I find it curious that anyone would seek him out. Suspicious, even. If we are to help you find him, we would know why.
He must face justice for his transgressions.
I like him better now, Sheetha.
Indeed. A kindred spirit, it seems. But that's what this is really about, isn't it? You are tied to him.
Cedar glances over at you, and then her expression changes, as though she's seeing you for the first time.
I see it now. You are awakened. Your soul is awake, and something once buried deep now wells to the surface. Past overwhelms present, closes in around you. Your time has nearly reached its end.
I just need to get Theos.
I am sorry to tell you this, but Theos cannot give you what you seek. Nor can any man. An awakening cannot be undone, any more than your past can be undone.
What do you mean? I thought Merwald said... Elof's face is rigid. This is permanent? We did not come down this road together to be refused passage by a pair of talking saplings. This has all been for nothing, and I am going to lose my mind.
The soul is formless without a past to shape it. Did you truly expect to be able to wipe it away?
That's no, it's too dark for this for Aldwyn. I'd rather have tried to put things right. A noble thought, but for the lifetimes that separate you from your problems.
However, as much as my sister speaks truly that there is no way back from an awakening, there may yet be a way forward. Would you agree, Shiva?
I would. Were the way not so likely to end in death.
What is it?
The man Theos you must already know by now. You are linked by a common past. Something about it lingers within you, festering, unresolved. What it is I cannot see any more than you. And without that knowledge, your doom is certain. But were you to learn the source of this discord, perhaps it could be put to rest. Though it is equally possible it will trouble you as much now as it did then, and merely speed your condition to its end.
My past comes to me in pieces. How do I unlock the rest?
You might wait for it to come on its own, of course. But when it comes, it will replace your sanity's last breath. Such is the nature of your condition.
Or you could learn it from someone who already knows.
Theos, would he remember?
It is said the gods made his memory perfect, that he may never forget his charge. If he ever knew, he still does.
Not that he would tell you, of course.
You have followed the right person for the wrong reason, it seems. We see it often beneath the elms. The soul dragging mind and body to unknown places for unfathomable reasons. You may have wandered into Theos's path many times, in many lifetimes, without an awakening to show you why.
The only thing that's certain is you did not find what you sought.
You said you know where he went.
He has gone down beneath the tower to a place older than we, where the people of Engwith once walked. He makes his way to the buried city, Sun and Shadow.
May he stay down there and rot with the remains of his people.
He may yet. He won't be returning the way he came, that much is certain. He opened a secret path in the tower's base, and saw it destroyed behind him through some vile means.
Is there another way to get him?
We know of one. On the burial isle, through the court of the penitents, Braeth Yaman. A shortcut, in fact.
Don't be cruel, sister. The way my sister speaks of is not for the faint of heart. A great pit at the center of a forgotten court, where faiths were judged in place of crimes. To most, it is simply a gateway to death. With the help of the gods, it can take you where you want to go.
What do you mean, with the help of the gods?
The pit is said to have been a means of judgment by the gods. Those cast into it are meant to die. It is that way you must pass to reach Sun and Shadow. The court is old. We do not know much for certain, but it would seem only the gods themselves can grant passage.
What is this court?
No more than a ruin now. It is older than we. A place for the trial of heretics. We were not here to witness it, but at one time there was a group that refused to acknowledge the gods. Neither the first nor the last, of course, but these were numerous and all put on trial for it. Those who did not repent were cast into the pit and imprisoned below. The fall killed them, of course. The prison was not for people, but for their souls, and their sentences were eternal. It is said that many of the condemned repented and were permitted by the gods to ascend from the pit, so long as they pledged their service to one of them. But these are old legends.
How would I ever get the gods to help me?
Behind us is Ter Evron, said to pierce the shroud itself and a place of communion with all gods. If ever there was a time for prayer, you have found it.
So the only way to get through this pit is to pray for help.
Not the only way. Just the only one that doesn't end with your body impaled on jagged rocks.
Who would I even pray to? Any god you can, I should think.
I would pray first to those gods you like best. I hope for your sake the feeling is shared.
Is there no other way?
None.
How do I pray?
Ter Evron is also called the Hall of Stars, and the stars show us the allegiances of the gods. When stars are in conjunction, we know the gods they represent are aligned as well. You should choose a place to pray where you'll be closest to those you want to hear you. If a god stands alone, you should pray to that god. If they band together, you should address them all. Choose your words wisely, for all gods expect proper homage, and none has patience for fools.
I have other questions.
What do you wish to know?
How did you know I was pursuing Theos?
The same way that you are no doubt able to peer into the ether and experience the souls of others. It is something we are born with, some more, some less. A gift common to many creatures of the wilds. You share certain similarities with the man you pursue. For your sake, I pray they are few and of no consequence.
You mentioned that people come to see the elms without knowing why. A soul has a will on its own. Its needs and whims are seldom understood, but they follow them all the same.
There is something about this place that reaches beyond our understanding, something like a beacon. The elms have a way of uniting souls that have been seeking one another, with or without their owner's awareness. Sometimes it is for love, sometimes for vengeance, sometimes for peace. Often it is for no reason we will ever know. In your case, let us hope it is for peace.
Or vengeance.
I want to know about the two of you.
There is little to be said about us, for we are bound here, caretakers and defenders of this place. Our journey has been over time, but not distance, measured in observations, but not experiences. We have seen the elms grow tall. We have seen cities built, burned, and built again. The only constant has been the tower, a silent companion through the ages. You can imagine why this recent destruction has stirred my sister so.
If you do nothing else, make that man pay for what he did here.
I need to know about praying for the support of the gods.
We will tell you what we can.
Oh, farewell.
Before you go, tell me this, old one. I'm curious. If you were to subdue your enemy, what would you do with him? What would give you peace?
He must be destroyed. A just end for a vicious man. Give him our worst.
All the same, think on this matter. Be assured in your course. In the end, it may mean all the difference, not just to his soul, but to yours. And be warned. Some questions have answers that can never be learned, and it is those that trouble the soul above all others. May you find an answer to yours.
Huh?
They who woke the stars added. I'll send him. So, they allowed us in. That's not what I was expecting. Oh, bookcases.
Yes?
Sure.
What's this? Shattered and charred stone blocks the passage into sun and shadow. An luminescent Adra shard.
I've seen wild stars in the sky before, but I've never seen them beneath my feet.
Yeah. Sure.
What's this? Before this shrine is a constellation of a snarling hound, fangs bared. This shrine sits before a bright constellation, its stars forming the oval shapes of an egg. A pair of wings sprout from the egg, stretching out to either side. This one's Bereth. In the glittering stars of the nearby constellation, you see the grim shape of a skull. Its jaws are open wide, as if frozen in a silent scream. And this one is Ondra, I'm guessing. In the nearby constellation, you can make out the shape of a strange horned beast. From time to time, you think you see a faint chill emanating from the shrine itself. A piercing ring fills your ears as near as Whale's shrine. There is no other response. Nothing happens when you approach Woodacre's shrine. We'll pray to Galwain. You kneel before the shrine and prepare to recite the ritual words. What the fuck? Right, F5. We're going to need a quick save. Well, that's Ondra. That's Abidon. There's life. Wait. The Hound. Right. Shit. How the feck am I meant to figure out what the fuck? Alright, so let's go to... This doesn't look like it was in the right, because why the fuck are the torches so long to the bottom? Because apparently there's some books in my inventory. Well, we've got an autosave, so let's just not fuck this up. There is life in death and death in life. Your words seem to fade once voiced, as if they were cast into a vast emptiness. The whole grows deathly still and silent, and the ground starts to tremble beneath your feet. I'm guessing that was a get fucked, essentially. I'd say understandable, but that's just a bit fucking rude, mate. You didn't have to try and kill me. Sorry, you don't have to do such a good job at trying to kill me. There we go, that's more accurate. Fucking Stelgars being invisible. As you kneel in front of the shrine, you feel yourself push forward. You catch yourself on your hands and knees, feeling warm, damp ground beneath them. Looking around, you find yourself crouched in a clearing in the middle of the woods. The smell of dirt hangs heavy in the air. Behind you is a darkened room filled with candlelit shrines. Ahead you hear the howl of some kind of hound. You feel certain this is a vision, but the hairs on the nape of your neck are still rise.
Oh, the scent of sweat, fur, loam, leaves, the discordant howls. I believe Galawain's herald approaches.
We'll howl back. The beast bays in response, its voice high and clear. The thick undergrowth shivers with movement, and heavy paws pound the wet grass. You're not certain if the creature is hunting or leading you, but your instinctively give chase. As you tumble through the dude-spackled bushes and clawing brambles, each stride feels longer than the last. You draw longfuls of crisp, clean air and feel your energy renewed. The rhythm of your stride and the thumping of the beast's paws drive the blood foaming into your ears. You speed ahead, following the hound's cries, when a split-finger pine crashes into the ground in front of you. A massive bear lunges into the gap and roars. It catches sight of you. You turn and race in the opposite direction, leaping over the fallen tree trunk. Pine cones crunch underfoot. The bear lumbers after you. Its hot breath washes over the back of your neck, filling your nose with the rank odor of slaughter. You see a clearing just past a thicket of broadleaves and sprint towards it. As you break through the foliage, you see a massive lioness curled up in the clearing in front of you. With a last burst of energy, you divert your momentum and hurl yourself into the bushes. Any second now, you expect to feel the bear fall upon you, but a furious roar on the other side of the clearing draws your attention. The bear has stopped at the tree line. It swipes the empty air with claws large enough to rend armor, but it does not advance. The lioness, for her part, twists her body into a tight coil. She growls, her ears pressed against her head, as she makes no move to attack the intruder.
That is the third largest bear I've ever seen! What's keeping it from crushing the lioness? There's an unusual stalemate in the air. I can feel that these creatures deeply loathe each other, but they both refuse to strike.
You back deeper into the foliage, keeping your eyes on the two mighty predators. As you crawl backwards, the heel of your hand brushes something forward. A warm sigh grazes your cheek. You freeze in place, slowly turning your head to see what waits behind you. Two amber eyes shine in the darkness.
Holy Hound himself! It's not just his herald, it's the Lord of the Hunt! Here!
The Orlan drops to one knee as his hand dart about his pockets and snatch at the rusted hound's head icon buried within. The eyes meet your gaze briefly, then turn to the standoff in the clearing. The hound behind you yawns, fangs flashing. When you turn back, the lion and the bear have disappeared. In their place is the stone wolf's maw, gaping wide enough to swallow you whole. Beyond it is the outline of a temple, towering but instinctive. Blood must feed the maw, watcher. See that a true champion reigns. Turn back to Tyr, everyone. So we have to go to the stone moor in his vision. So, unfortunately, John, we're going to have to end this part here, and we'll do that in the next part. See you guys then.